All systems go! Ignition.
What is that? Oh shit, what is that?
It's a trap!
Who are you fighting?
I have 4 dogs in my backyard. I'm constantly pumping those dogs, man.
It's good that people are getting bummed up again because we've not had enough of that. We've not had enough of that. We've not had enough of that. This is a democracy. When you call that radio, 3, 2, 1.
Your call is very important. Please hold.
It's you call that radio poetry slam. England versus Scotland. It's the big match before the big match. And what a lineup we've got here. I'm a floating head. Hi, my name is Floating Head. And we're going to do a poetry slam tonight. We have in the wings an incredible cast of English poets, Scottish poets, and grumpy poets. Jim Monaghan's in the house. How you doing?
I'm good, Mark. Yeah. Forward to it, sort of.
Well, it's been a year since you were forced to endure. What was weekly, wasn't it? Was it 5 weeks of poetry, and then we had a champion. Jenny won the crown, and she'll be starting us off tonight.
It was Jenny nailed it. Jenny had a poem that was just an absolute heartbreaker about passing on this book to another, receiving a book from someone and passing it on. Although I don't know if she ever did pass it on.
She saved the best to last. And that's what poetry slams are about. You know, you've got the poem, but obviously you want to get through. I've usually got one good poem in my arsenal, and I don't know whether to use it. Should you use it first or should you keep it to the end? What should you do?
What you do is this: the first one you go out and you make people laugh, right? The first one should have something funny in it because then everybody goes, he's an all right guy. Your second one should be one of the ones that everybody agree to. Fuck the Tories, fuck the patriarchy. That kind of thing, you know, something that nobody can disagree with. And then everybody's going, he's not only funny, he's on the other side and all that. And then the last one, dead relative always wins, isn't it?
We've got Sammy B and Majiko in the house. How's it going, Sammy?
It's going all right, Mark. It's going well. He did ask if I could be a judge, but I could be neutral.
A neutral judge.
But I thought you said natural.
Well, Sammy, can you believe it's been a year? It's been a year since we had the poetry slam.
I can hardly believe that, Mark. It's unbelievable. What a year. Do you know what I mean? We've not really left the house since then, but it's good to be back. So, and thanks so much for inviting me. And I will be keeping the scores and the doors.
The scores.
I'll keep the scores.
Absolutely amazing that Jenny won our poetry slam and then won the Scottish poetry slam, then was running up in the World Cup of poetry. So I think we've been vindicated that our slam was, as we claimed, to decide actual best poet.
Yeah, absolutely. It was the greatest poet in the world. You call that radio poet of the greatest universe, poet in the world, something like that. And we're vindicated because Jenny went on and won the Scottish and nearly. Some would say she was robbed of the World Championship.
She was robbed. It was definitely, if it wasn't for VAR, I think she just got it in and then VAR came in and said that she had she'd spelled something wrong or something.
Jenny is here now. Welcome back. A hero's welcome on You Call That Radio.
How is everyone?
Very good, Jenny. Thank you for coming back after.
Thank you for having me.
That was your first ever slam. You won it, and now you just win all the slams.
All the slams, not really all the slams. Yeah, it's been a bit of a year, hasn't it? I can't quite believe it. That's taken a year to kind of do all those like little bits and pieces in various different rounds. But we've got the UK finals coming up next month as well.
And your it's UK finals at Royal Albert Hall, fingers crossed for that.
Oh,
And then,
fingers crossed.
and I was delighted you were just telling me off air as well, because obviously normally when you win the Scottish Slam, so everyone who wins a Slam in Scotland goes and plays off in a final, and then the winner gets to go to Paris to perform in the World Championship. And sadly, obviously, travel was still banned, everything's still banned. So you had to do it via the method of Zoom, and you finished runners up with only a point or something. And so you went so close. But the good news is that I think you are going to Rome or somewhere.
Yeah, the guy. So Giuliano Logos is the guy who won it. He won it for Italy, and he was just amazing. So I wasn't, I wasn't too bothered that I lost to him, because he was extraordinary. But he got in touch with me afterwards and asked me to come out to Rome and perform with him and his collective. They run events in Rome. So yeah, when we're allowed, I'm going to go and do that.
Amazing. And Rome's better than Paris, because they send one Scottish poet a year to Paris. So how many?
We do all right, though. We've done all right. I mean, Sam Small won it. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, it's got to be one of those. Oh, you cut out there, Jim. Sorry. Sam Small won it, and then
I think Bram Gibbon was third. I think possibly Kevin Cadwallander. There's been a couple that have been up there second and third before.
Yeah, but did they get to go to Rome? Did they get to go to Rome? No. They didn't. Rome was not built in a day. It took a year. Jenny, you are a sacrificial poet of the night. What is a sacrificial poet, Jim? What is a sacrificial poet? What does it mean?
It means that you put somebody up as a kind of starter, so the judges can have their comments. People can see what it is we mean by a slam poem, and also they're sacrificial, as in they're sort of putting themselves up as a lamb to the slaughter. They can't win anything, nothing to be gained, but we can rip the shit out of them if we need to.
Perfect.
And obviously it's going to be tough for anyone to win anything tonight. I would just like to say we've not really confirmed any prizes, but what is at stake is it's Scotland versus England. So it's like Scottish independence is at stake. I mean, we can maybe give independence to the Scottish poets if they win tonight. And also it's to get the banter going ahead of the big match on Friday. And it's such a big game because even if you don't care about football, there is something exciting about Scotland against England and at Wembley Stadium as well this Friday. And Jenny, just before you do a poem, you're obviously someone who from Scotland but lives in England. And what's your experience? Well, I'm sure you've got love for both countries.
What's my experience of what?
Of doing that, of moving to England.
Do you know what? I lived in London for 15 years, and London was very good to me. But I love coming home. It actually made me more Scottish leaving Scotland.
You end up getting called things like Scottish Jenny.
Well, people couldn't understand what I was saying when I first moved down, so I had to really slow my accent down. But yeah, I definitely became more Scottish when I left, and I enjoy living down here. I've just moved to Brighton, so
big up Brighton, and we actually have a poet on round one. Our first poet of the evening, I believe, is from Brighton. It might not be actually. I'll double check that. I'll fact check that later. And I'll explain why. Tuned in, we have, who we got in the house? We've got Ali Grant singing. Here we go. The football songs have started already. We've got Alan in the house. Hello, Alan. West Side banter. I'll destroy them, says West Side. Fighting talk. Evening, I'm out for a quick jog the now. Hopefully catch up when I get in. Moan the Scotland, says Lou. Yeah. Moan the Scotland. But this is a neutral show, so I'll be showing no preferences here. Colin Simon says, here we go. Let's see the herewe's in the comments. Let us know who you think is going to win. Is it going to be Scotland or is it going to be England? This you call that radio. The Poetry Slam. England versus Scotland. Please take it away, Jenny.
So I'm going to do a poem called To the Laddies. To the laddies, the boys, the men, the blokes, jokes to all those cheeky chappies telling jokes that are crap and the chaps quaffing sherry in Bullingdon Boys Clubs. They're feeling quite merry. To the legends, the dreamers, the rocks and the rollers, to the multitasking dads on their own with their strollers, and the fabulous gay boys with their drag and their fashion, their obsession with grinder and a moustache. On and on I could go about boys to men. I'll make love to you like you want me to, and I'll hold you tight, baby, all through the night. Bit of boys to men there, ladies and gentlemen. I digress. Boys, 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 I must confess, I feel for you sometimes because you protest to be the best, and there you are. Slick hair, a tailored suit, a button-down shirt and shiny boots. You've got your mind on your money and your money on your electrics, your skelectrics. You're heading to the gym to getting kinetic. You think you're an Adonis, but you're lanky and thin. So you sunbed yourself and your peely-wally skin. Video gaming to keep your youth alive. A Super Nintendo or a Mega Drive. Porn flicks. Dick pics, hoping that it stays up. Snap. Oh my gosh, look at me. I'm a man. It's so hard for me. Being a man in the new millennium. Be more emotional and be a feminist. But without all my guy stuff, it's just me and my penis, you know, because guys are from Mars and women are from Venus. Boys, 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 I hate to piss on your parade, but the only Venus we know is a Venus razor blade. Let's get rid of the boys' clubs and the girl gangs too, and we'll come up with something better, more shiny and new. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be called the Not So Secret and Very Public Most Excellent Society of Brilliant Human Beings. We'll get rid of the pink, we'll get rid of the blue, we'll get rid of Trump and all the other creepy bastards too. Never mind your trousers, Donald. Where's your fucking manners? We'll sack off the pay gap. We'll learn the offside rule. There'll be mandatory how to be a brilliant human being lessons for all our kids at schools. We'll get yearly bouts of man flu just to keep it even. And you'll get monthly sympathy pains to keep it even, Stevens. But as you can see, I've digressed again with my utopian dream about women and men. So, dearest laddies, I'll conclude, and us, here's to you for not being all that different from us. Thank you.
Brothers and sisters. Is that you, Daniel? Are you before me?
You call that radio?
Hello? Hello, yes, this is Dog.
If you call that radio TV, well done, Jerry.
Yay.
The second greatest poet in the world, according to the rigged fake news poetry society, but is recognised as the best poet in the universe of You Call That Radio judges. So that counts for more. We're still waiting on one of our judges arriving just now. So I think, Jenny, you're going to be able to do one poem before you need to head, or do you have we run out of time? I
can do one poem for sure.
You can do one poem, okay?
Yeah.
So we'll keep this bit quick then before we get the first round on. Any comments from Sammy?
I've just enjoyed listening to Jenny again because it's been ages. I've been kind of offline for a while, Mark. I've just been living in my wee positive bubble. So Jenny, that was absolutely amazing. And throw on the next one, Hen.
Is that a 10? Is that a 10? Sammy, in a hypothetical situation where she was part of the actual game, would that be a 10?
Oh, aye.
Yeah, it's
absolutely
a 10.
A 10 for Sammy.
A 10 for Sammy. Jim, what did you make of that?
Excellent poem, and I think having a wee thing with the boys before making up and then we all get together is a good idea, because right now we're watching men's football on the telly and we're hearing all the time about Scotland qualifying for the finals for the first time in 23 years, which is not true because the Scottish women's team have qualified for finals. It's just the men that haven't done it for 23 years.
Correct, Jim.
There you go.
Very true, Jim. Well, I think we're going to, I know you're in a hurry, Jenny, so we're going to, there's some comments. Brilliant start, Jenny, says Alan. A round of applause from John Baird in the house. Hello, John. A bit late. Evening, folks. Hello, Mark. Scotland, of course, says Laura, and Kirsten thinks it's Scotland's game as well. Okay, so it's round one. We're going to go to our first Scottish contestant of the night. He's actually a bit of a viral sensation right now. He was played on Zoe Ball's show a couple of days ago. It's Gary Robertson. How you doing, mate?
Yes.
All right, how are you doing? Hello from Dundee.
Hello,
Gary.
Dundee. You've your song Kilts on Taps Off is a new chart sensation, man. How does it feel to be played by Zoe Ball while you're at work?
It was a bit mental. I was working away on the bin, Larry, and the Cundeez come on for a wee blast on Radio 2, but she got the title wrong. She was very polite and said kilts on, tops off. It's off. Get it right, Zoe. But nah, what a great honour and pleasure. Here on Radio 2, that was nuts.
Amazing, Gary. Well, do you know what? You're the
Gary, I'm hoping that you didn't see my review of Kilts on Taps Off on Bella Caledonia.
Have you ripped it?
Right, well,
I said it was a load of nonsense, but I enjoyed it.
no, it's a good review for Jim, man. It was a complimentary review, but it just says, I mean, really deep down, it's a load of nonsense, but I really enjoyed it, and he says lots of nice things about it as well.
It's as good as it gets.
It's good to see you here, man. Now, it's obviously important that we get the first goal against England, because obviously Scotland goes in as the underdogs, so it's important to get that first goal. Take it away, Gary.
Okay, this is, I'm going to read this because I've not done this for about 100 years, but it's quite appropriate. It's called the Tartan Army. So we look back in time. We've walked 1,000,000 miles for 80-year goals, kilted warriors, young and old, a 21st century marching clan, carrying on the proud traditions of the bygone fans, and without doubt, the best fans in the world. In the four corners of the earth, the saltire's been unfurled. Albanach foot soldiers, Scotland's patriot sons. Let's take a trip down memory lane to when the fun begun. The Glasgow platoon had it easy. Spare a thought for the rest of us. Travelling miles to Hampden without a bog on the fucking bus. In the company of professional drinkers. Son, you'll just hate to had it in. Absolutely bursting for a push. You had to date in a pale ale tin. Pretty soon the bus was sailing. Spalt drink and push and seek. There was boys lying half unconscious, another end struggling to speak. Carried off the bus, then carried in to a shop selling carry-outs. Over 100,000 converging on Hampden, every end staggering about. Get your hats, scarves and badges, banners and macaroon bars. Macaroon? What was that about? No after swallowing 13 jars. Ticketless fans paying bribes at the gates, others getting sneaky ins. There must have been 200,000 in there. Hampden Park a la sardine tin. Full bladder, no danger of escape. And marking it up these steps, many poor boys felt the heat as somebody pushing down the back of their legs. And I've often wondered about the others. The ends that were bursting for a shite. They must have just did it in their drawers. Chiselled them off at night. Hear the Hampden roar when Jordan scored and sent the checks bouncing out. And when Dalglish nutmeg Clements, the terraces erupted and Abdi fell about, laughing. But it's Wembley and their hallowed grund, where the army I marched in mass. London was theirs for the day. Trafalgar had a saltire flying for its mast. Watching the legends in 1967 hump the world champions 3-2. Then 10 years later in Jubilee year, Wembley saw a party, the biggest ever through. Big Gordon McQueen and that man Dalglish delivered what the Tartan Army wanted. The pitch got invaded, the bar got broke, and Jimmy Hill's a poof was what they chanted. Oh yabba dabba doo, we support the boys in blue, but it's never, ever been easy. There's times when they drive you mental, and other times just plain crazy. We've endured where no other nations endured. Costa Rica, Iran and Peru. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. There's been times when the air's turned blue. It's life though, it's the Celtic warrior soul. We wouldn't hate it any other way. Through thick and thin, the clans march on, we'll follow them till we die. We banners raised behind pipes and drums, we'll still whack the 1,000,000 miles, because it's about the banter, bevy and the laughs. and traveling the world with a smile. Cheers.
Messi se da cuenta y cambia.
Pirlo afinando, ya cobra, pelota por arriba. ¡Gol!
Psychiatrist calls it audio stimulation.
You call that radio?
You call that radio? I made that wee goal hang. Just it's not going on. Sorry if that was a bit annoying. It's going to get more annoying as night goes on, I'd imagine. Gary, absolutely smashing it. Rising up for a corner in the first minute of the game, Scotland versus England, and scoring a goal. But I'll stay neutral. And I'll pass it over to the judges. We'll go first with Jenny because I know that you've got a nice dinner waiting for you. Jenny, how would you rate that?
I really liked that. It made me laugh. And also, I could completely agree in the sense of the Scottish team. There's always just there with a smile on, whether we win or lose. So I would probably say out of 10, I'm going to give it an 8.5.
It's an 8.5. It's a high score. Sammy B. Who's the neutral Sammy B? What are you saying there?
I'm just saying I love that, man. I feel like I'm at the fat bummy. Always with a smile. Think positive on the Scotland. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, neutral judge Sammy B, what are you giving it out of 10?
Oh no, I'm not. You can't have me as neutral. I tell you, you said I was to come natural, so obviously. You know what I mean? No,
England might have his work cut out for it tonight. Well, Sammy, until the other judge arrives, we're waiting on an English judge to even the playing field, so to speak. But Sammy, what are you giving Gary out of 10? We're just going to use
what
these.
You Mark. You get 10.
10. It's a 10 from Sammy B. Controversial, but it was a good ball. And Jim,
I'm all for poetry in minority languages, so I wasn't really sure what was going on, but and I appreciate the history lesson of the Scottish fans as incontinent homophobes. But yeah, I'll give it 7.
It's a 7 for Jim, which is I think the highest score that Jim's ever given in this tournament. Normally,
possibly.
So Gary, it's a good score. I hope Sammy you're writing these down because I'm not. We're going to.
That's my job, Mark.
Well, and also, Jenny, we do have an English judge who's arrived in the green room.
Right.
So, Jenny, you're free to enjoy your dinner. Thank you so much, everyone. Jenny, how's the best way? Check out the
Hey, Jenny.
Quick plug.
Yeah, if you get me at Jenny with Words on any of my socials, that would be great.
Jenny with Words. Good luck at the Royal Albert Hall, representing Scotland. Thank you, Jenny. You call that champion, Jenny Foulds, Scottish champion as well. And now I think we can go to our. We've got our judge who's running late. It's Jeremy Hatsworth. Hello, Jeremy.
He's all right. How you doing?
All
nice
right.
to be here. Nice t-shirt, by the way, mate. Nice t-shirt. I like it a lot.
Yeah, I'm a floating head, man. Did you enjoy Gary's poetry?
Be honest, mate. I missed it, mate. Sorry.
Well, it's all right.
Do it again, mate.
You just relax. We're going to get our next poet on just now, and hopefully I'm going to pronounce it right. It's Sir St. John-Scarpia. Hello.
Sir St. John-Scarpia. Hello, peasants.
St. John.
Yes, indeed, yeah. Hello, peasants of the fiefdoms. Nice to see you.
Thank you very much for joining us today from your mansion. I appreciate you taking the time to speak to us peasants. I think we'll just go straight into the poem and then we'll get a little chat about it after it. So take it away, Surgeon. No.
Sir St. John-Scarpia.
I thought you said
goddamn.
Sturgeon. I thought you said Sturgeon. Right,
No.
okay, take it away.
I'm here to give you a little bit of an education in the real world of economics. So this is a poem called Trickle Down. Trickle down, trickle down. If you don't, and you won't, understand the economics, then at least you can appreciate the poetry. My private enterprise is like a champagne glass raised to heaven. I'll take my fill, I'll swill and swig, and should any overspill, well, that is yours. A gift of my abundance. Well, I say yours, I mean others, as my brothers in arms, and in property, and in the new opportunities in health, education, and justice, will be the first to taste the droplets of my bounty. And then those who serve me best will take the rest that may brim over the rim of the ring round which they lick to take the lappings. And then those who do my will, who do the drilling of the oil for my car and the stitching of the cloth with which you dress me, and the digging in the dirt to make the feast for my plate, may be fortunate to wash their filthy hands in my dribblings. And if you kneel at my feet and lick the moisture from my shoes, if any golden liquid has trickled down my legs, the flat and bitter dregs of wine, well, lick it up. Lick it up, lap it up. You love it. Well, trickle down, trickle down. If you don't and you won't understand the economics, then at least you can appreciate the poetry. As the value of my property appreciates, appreciate it, damn it. I put the money in your banks. I keep interest low, so you can borrow for your needs. My greed is good. I feed your freedom as I feed upon your labor. I'm doing you a favor, and don't fret, I won't forget it. Let it go, laissez-faire. It's only fair I let it go as well, until, that is, I want it back. And then I'll let you know in no uncertain terms that your letting is getting impossible. Am I keeping your interest? What? You want a nation of low achievers, beggars, receivers of welfare benefits? Where's the benefit in that? Where's the motivation to succeed like I have? I'm a wealth creator, and sooner or later you'll get it. Trickle down, trickle down. If you don't and you won't understand the economics, then at least you can appreciate the poetry. This is how the system works. The fatter a fat cat gets, the better for you debtors and squatters and nutters and tatters in the gutters as we go-getters, trendsetters, big hitters, get as rich as we can and scatter a little bit of the pot of what we've got, and as you feel it pitter-patter, be happy that you've let us off our taxes. We're not your babysitters. The shitter things get, the better the shot in the arm, the kick up your butt that you've got to get fitter. Do better. When you're rich, you won't want to pay taxes, so stop your lefty chitter-chatter. If I move my money offshore, well, that's a private matter. If you tax me, do I not bleed? If you tax me, I may leave to some country freed of the burden of taxes, and there I may stay and bleed your economy dry. Have I no feelings, you say? And I hear, see my tears trickle down, trickle down, trickle down.
Do you want weird or do you want it?
If you don't really know what's going on, there's a show that also doesn't know what's going on. Call that radio TV. You call that radio. Call that radio TV. You call that radio TV.
You tuned into the Call That Radio TV poetry slam between England and Scotland. Things are heating up a little bit now, I must say. Superb, sir. Doff my cap to you, says Susie. 2 10s in a row, says Soapy. West Side's not impressed. Not bad, Mr. Scarpia. Scotland still leading for me, though. And then going some comments about Gary. Brilliant, Gary, says Laura. Always smiling. Ouch. Magic Mark. What's happened? Can just see your head. It's just the way it is now. I'm a floating head. Brilliant, Gary, says Alan. Madness, says Soapy. Goal, goal. Love you, Gaz. Awesomeness. Kilts on, taps off, says Laura Johnson. And one in Scotland said, it says John Baird. I think this one might have been a bit of controversial from Sir John-Scarpia.
The person who just called me Mr. Scarpia, absolutely wrong. Sir St. John-Scarpia. Thank you.
Okay, sir. Well, let's go and find out what Sammy B made of that poem. Sammy B.
All right, Sir.
Thank you very much. That's better.
Aye, so that's what everyone gets called in Ayrshire, isn't it?
Aye, that's that. Well, I mean, it was a really hard-hitting poem for me to listen to that, you know what I mean?
Thank you.
Or trickling down your trouser leg and getting folk to lick it. No.
Yes. I can imagine how that worked for you.
Sir, you can't imagine how that works.
I like the way you're saying this.
Sammy, what out of 10?
Oh, I don't know, Mark, about this. I don't know. I mean, I thought it was a quality, well-written poem, but the things he was saying, Mark, I'm not sure about this.
Are you not in agreement with my political perspective?
Oh, sir, what can I say? No.
Oh well, it's my mission today to shift you. I think if I can shift you to kind of neoliberal economics, then maybe I can shift you from supporting Scotland to supporting England by the end of the show. Do you think that's going to happen?
You'll need more than words to shift me, sir. I'll tell you.
Out of 10, Sammy.
You see how you were talking about all the nice things you drink? Now that could be arranged. Then you could maybe swing me.
Well, okay. Right now I'm drinking a can of Punk IPA, or should I call it Scottish bully beer these days? But it's
Brewdog's been cancelled. If it is not found, Brewdog's been cancelled.
Do you know what? You're quite a charming character, sir, aren't you?
I'd like to think so. Thank you. Yes, yeah.
I'm trying to win me round here, but I can't.
Well, you give Gary a 10. What are you going to give? Well,
for the quality, his writing was great and his delivery was brilliant, but it's going to have to be a 7 for me. And that's really nice, by the way. Very nice.
Well, I'm still at the start of my campaign, so yeah, I'm quite happy to get in the low scores as I campaign door to door. Get some 10s by the end of it, hopefully.
Well, I'll tell you the main market's a 6.
Well, it's a 6.
Well, even that's more popular than Sir Keir Rodney Starmer, so I think I'm doing all right there.
Jeremy, you might get a 10 from Jeremy. Jeremy, what did you think of it?
It was a little bit outside of my demographic, if you know what I like. You know what I mean? It's not really my kind of thing, but I mean, I did do some economics once, but like the only economics I really know of is what you'd sell out the back of a Ford Escort or something. You know, it's really like trickle down champagne lifestyle, mate. To be honest, but I appreciated it, and I've seen Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. You know, and I was thinking that dude's quite like the Sheriff of Nottingham, actually.
It's rather an inspiration of mine. Someone who's just like sees himself above everybody else.
Creator.
Yes, indeed.
A wealth creator.
Sheriff of Nottingham there. All right. Yeah. But no, it was well constructed. He's obviously got the lingo, so I'll give him like decent points,
Well, how many points?
Just being creative, Right.
How many points, Jeremy?
Points. Can I do half points? Is it just?
Yes, you can do half points.
All right. I'll give it a 6.5, mate.
6.5.
Well, that's me moving forward, and yeah, I think by the end of this, yeah, I'm definitely looks like the polls show a victory for me as we move ahead. Yeah, when all the votes come in,
Well,
I'm
that's it.
confident.
You've still got a vote to come in, and you might be the first person to swing the first ever 10 from Jim Monaghan. Jim Monaghan, what did you make of that?
That fucking accent. I think it was an excellent.
I could say the same, sir. I could say the same.
I thought it was an excellent poem. It made brilliant use of the economic terms of the economic and political arguments around tax and tax evasion and things like that. So really well constructed poem, really well written, really delivered. But at the back of my mind, I'm thinking maybe he's not taking the piss. So just in case he is a Tory cunt, I'll give it 2.
It's a 2 based on suspicion of Tory, undercover Tory playing a character Jim's worried about. Comments saying, that's what I was thinking, some accent mates is Custine. Hey sir, my arse is a 10, that bomb feeding effort was not, sir. Paul saying, a perfect summarisation of neoliberal economics. Colin Syme saying, nice one. Susie saying, missed Gary's one, sorry, I love his poems. Well, Gary's still with us just now. Gary, what did you make of that?
Fucking hell, what was that about? Come on, worlds apart from war. And the place I come from, so yeah, it's always great to hear poetry coming from all over the country, and you're always going to get a great mix, and that's what's great about what you're doing here, Mark. Fantastic use of words and play on words, but Jim, this could be a right Tory.
Could it be the first? I'm on the first Conservative voter on you call that radio. We don't know. We don't know. What we'll find out, we're going to find out as the show goes on. I don't know if Pixie Broon's managed to. I'm suspecting that Gary has taken the first round based on the judges' vote.
I'm on that show thing.
Is it? Have we got what? What are you doing? Are you on the phone?
Poetry thing.
All right, Sammy's just taking a call. Just taking a call. Just taking a call. We'll just take a wee 30-second break for you, Sammy B.
Yeah, enough respect in every aspect of the man like Mark. They love what the man talk on the radio. In case you never know. You call that radio, call that the radio. You call that radio, call that the radio. Come and say, in my name, I'll just go with the flow. In my name, I'll just go with the flow. So till you miss a mark, now go bend down low. Till you miss a mark, now go bend down low. Boom. Lot of mercy. Yo. You call that radio. You call that radio. Come and say, don't you be another man, I'll go lose your head. Say, don't you be another, me say, I'll lose the head. Me say, radio. Call that radio. Straight from out of Glasgow. Straight from out of Glasgow, nice enough for all the studio. Come and say, in my name, I'll just go with the flow. In my name, I'll just go with the flow. So till you miss a mark, now go bend down low. Till you miss a mark, now go bend down low. No radio. You call that the radio. Them man I give you miss a lot of subject, and them I think a man you can't object. So don't you ever come and disrespect. I love and respect in a every aspect.
Tuned in to You Call That Radio TV. We are live for the Scotland versus England Poetry Slam. And Pixie, Sammy B has the numbers, I think, of round one.
I certainly do, Mark. I certainly do. Anyway, I just want to say hi, Jeremy. Hi, Jeremy. I don't think I've ever met you before.
Yeah, Sammy, how you doing?
I'm doing all right, pal. It's nice to see you. I love when you're here and your places, mate. Cool. Cool in the gang, mate.
Thank you.
Anyway, I just wanted to say hello to a fellow judge there, Matt. Sorry, I've never met him before. So
Yeah, well,
it's nice to be nice, you know.
We normally would have a wee introduction in the green room backstage, but I believe that Jeremy Hatsworth was busy.
Sorry about that.
Jeremy, can I just say, Jeremy, that those Levi's you sold me weren't they fucking Levi's, by the way. There was another label underneath them.
Like Levi's.
Yeah, something like that.
Or like a Lev, because obviously it's
right.
lockdown has spurred on the Gary who's just lost there. He does a Lev every Friday night. He has a few drinks and he does a Lev, which is going live on Facebook. So Dundee always inventing language. In fact, there he is there. There's Gary. He's trying to do a Lev, but oh yeah, it is. Gary, just talking about how doing a Lev is now a phrase in Dundee.
Oh, I had some technical issues. I couldn't hear you there, so I must have the banter. But...
Well, basically, Jeremy Hatsworth sold Jim Monaghan a pair of Levi's that weren't Levi's, so we're kind of assuming that they were Levs, like doing a Lev.
Lev, I was up in the Western Isles there last week. I've got them. I left them speaking Dundonian. The hell of the Western Isles is saying Giza and ahin. So going live became a thing during, I suppose, this lockdown stuff. After Uli for Pete and Diesel's show would end on a Friday night, I'd say, bugger it, we'll just go and go live on Facebook and put Alexa on and hear a few hours of arguing with her trying to play tunes and ultimately get chased up for fucking Warner Music and Sony Music. So I've got a big lawsuit coming after us.
Alexa, play the Pogues. I love the Levs. Soapy saying awesome stuff, guys. Lindsay, you're right. Mark's floating he'd be scary when angry. Lou said just got off the bus and tuned in. Oh my God, the floating head is scary when angry. You were too convincing, sir. And it says Susie. So we are Sammy B. What's the scores in the doors after round one?
Well, the scores and the doors are the goals just in are Scotland, Gary Robertson, total points 25.5. 25.5. Serge St. John-Scarpia. England. 14.5, otherwise 14.5. Big Gary wins it!
Si se da cuenta y cambia.
Pirlo afinando, ya cobra, pelota por arriba. ¡Gol!
Gary, we're 1-0 up. Sorry, Scotland are 1-0 up. Obviously, I'm keeping completely neutral.
Well, congratulations to you, Gary. I have a feeling that the judges not exactly fair. In fact, I don't even think that the English guys are true Englishmen there. Putting it on.
I'm a child of the world, mate. Child of the world.
Exactly. If you're not going to align yourself with England, I mean, you're either for us or against us. But anyway, jolly well done.
Jolly well done, indeed. Jolly well done, Gary. And jolly well done, everybody so far.
Come on!
Round one. That was round one. Coming up in round two, we have Larkin versus Shelltoe Mel, who took the viewers, you call that radio viewers' choice for Poet of the Year. So we're going to go live to Larkin and Shelltoe Mel roundabout.
You call that radio?
Call that radio.
What about the people who hate it on me?
Right, and then I see the disinfectant.
that knocks it out in a minute.
That's mad, isn't it? Is this a Netflix thing?
It's actually a podcast.
What the fuck's a podcast?
You know, it's kind of like a radio show.
Oh, that! Radio!
Yeah. Amazing stuff. Scotland are winning 1-0 at the moment, but there's still plenty to play for. Also, if you call that radio Patreon, then we're about to announce after this round what country you're going to be. So basically, this show, we don't have sponsors or adverts or funding. It's powered completely by patrons and the generosity of patrons who like the show. So if you think it's worth the price of a pint or a coffee, then you can, or it's actually cheaper. We're actually cheaper than a coffee or a pint these days. It's £3. If you think we're worth £3, then you go to patreon.com/you call that radio. And in about half an hour, we're going to randomly select 24 Patreons and assign them a country at random. And if that country wins, then you win £50 cash prize and a You Call That Radio Euros hamper. So we're going to assign the countries in a little bit. But we're now going to go back to Scotland for Shelltoe Mel. How's it going?
Hello, mother, father, funkers. How the bloody hell are you?
We're doing good. I don't know if you've been watching what's been happening.
I have.
But Scotland's winning 1-0.
Yeah, and man, I'm feeling the pressure.
Does that take the pressure off, or does it add to the pressure?
No, I'm feeling the pressure, but bring it on. Battle, bring it on.
Bring it on. And you've got I must say it's been a year since you very nearly won You Call That Radio Poetry Slam, but then you won the You Call That Radio's Viewers Choice of the Year award, and you also played a stunning set at Capture where you won the Princess of All Our Hearts award, I think, as well at Capture And your garden is looking fantastic since the last year. What's changed? Have you done something with your garden?
Yes. I painted the hut. I pimped the hut. I pimped the chair. I painted basically everything. I bought numerous chimes. Anything that will hang from the tree. And I basically fucking nearly killed myself with this lovely thing I purchased today. And I had it up here. And I walked into it and it fucking nearly knocked me out, man.
Shelltoe Mel is in the house. She's stepping up to the plate. Scotland are 1-0 up, but we've still got a long way to go. So Scotland really does need to win this second round. Shelltoe Mel, take it away.
Okay. Never let a felly an inch above your knee. I can tell you that and plenty more for free. They can't help it, it's just the dog in me. So use a Johnny bag if you don't want a pregnancy. Before you know it, your thingamajig will be a war. You've lost your freedom, you're now a maw. Your pal's skedaddled, she's gone at Laldy. You're down at Aldi's, buying nappies. Rabbi Burns wrote songs for the lassies, probably so he could get into their panties. Didn't he drop your drawers for any silver-tongued felly? Chances are his willy will be smelly. You thingamajig a wall, you thingamajig a wall, never let a felly an inch above your knee. You thingamajig a wall, you thingamajig a wall, never let a felly an inch above your knee. Never let a felly an inch above your knee. You're probably better off drinking a cup of tea. He'll shoot his load and leave you with a baby. So go live your life and set yourself free. Do you want to be left alone without a pot to piss in? Locked in baby jail, fermenting and wishing you'd gone to Specsavers and seen this joker, an overweight snaggletooth pit stinking smoker. You deserve someone who will treat you like a lady. He's doing a piss poor impression of Slim Shady. A moment in the lips, forever in the hips. This is lady poverty, living in chips. Thingamajig a war, sperm from the balls, leading to an infestation of moths. So unless you want to be singing, Ali Valley Bee, never let a felly an inch above your knee. Thingamajig a war, never let a felly an inch above your knee. thingamajigger, whoa, thingamajigger, whoa. Never let a felly or a melee or anything, a telly, an inch above your knee. Come on, Scotland. Get it up, you.
Messi se da cuenta y cambia.
Pirlo afinando, ya cobra, pelota por arriba. ¡Gol!
Shelltoe Mel. Never let a failure an inch above your knee. We're live for the Scotland-England Poetry Slam. Shelltoe Mel just curled one from outside the penalty area, about 30 yards out. Smashed it. Did it hit the crossbar and go in? Did it hit the crossbar and go out? Let's find out. It's Sammy B.
I absolutely love that poem there. And it's good advice. Good advice for you there, Mel. And you know as well, I love your performance. It's not just about the words, it's about how you bring it through the screen to us sitting here. Absolutely wonderful. Honestly, that was tap draw for me. Never mind taps off, tap draw for the Broon. And I'll tell you what, when it mentions Rabbie Buns in a poem, you can. That's me. You got me.
Did you not get in trouble for calling Rabbie Buns a Hoormeister? Sammy B. We used to do the Friction Burn supper together. And did you not get in trouble from a local journalist for calling Rabbie Burns a Hoormeister?
Listen, I've had a love affair with Robert Burns for many a year. Mark, I've been up and down with that fella all my life, you know. But I'm glad to hear his name mentioned there, Mel. And in that theme that he's a bit of a silver tongue guy. But good advice, and am I to keep my score now?
Aye, would like to score Sammy B if you can.
A 10!
It's a 10. It's a 10 from Sammy B. We'll go for the edge. And it's a dancing celebration. Lou's made the point that I thought the whole point of that poem was not to get it up, you Mel.
I know. No, I was saying that to whoever's following me. Get it up here, is it?
We got Fire for More Funk, says Jay Lee. Superb Mel, says Alan.
Yeah, Julie.
Your garden is gorgeous, so colourful, says Susie.
You see the Scottish gnome there?
A Scottish gnome? Not really.
No.
Oh, I do see it. Aye, sorry, I do. The Scottish gnomes. There is what you don't. Jim doesn't take points off you for using props, so I think there is a prop rule in there. Laura Johnson saying the right result for once. Goal to Gary for Scotland, says Susie. I love that Rabbie Burns fanatic is a neutral ref. Yes, Scotland. Okay, we're going to go to Jeremy Hatsworth. What did you make of Shelltoe Mel?
Moors, that's mums, isn't it? Moors. I'm saying that right. Moors.
No, it's Mel.
Moors. Mums. The poem, Mums. It's about mums, right? Do you like UK garage music?
Do you like UK garage?
Garage, yeah.
Yeah, your ma. Magnificent, amazing woman.
Exactly. I think get a good mix of that, get it banging in the clubs. Teenagers listen is nice, no? It's good.
A garage version of that. That's maybe the way forward.
It's going to help a lot of people understand. You know. I think
Jeremy Hatsworth, can we get a number for Shelltoe? Out of 10, what would you say?
I know people. They'll sort you out with a nice mix. You know what I mean? Just a nice banger. You know? Get the message out there. You know, it's important. Respect the mums, innit? So I'll give that one a big 9. Right?
It's a 9. It's a 9. And Scotland are looking good here just now. Jim.
I don't know, Mel. one of the things you should do in a poetry slam is you should learn from what the judges tell you, and then remember that for the next time, because I don't know if you remember that last year, me being a tenement dweller in the city took points off for you having a Gearden. That kind of level of privilege is just I'm taking points off you for that. Also, I have to question the science behind this an inch above your knee. I mean, you're never going, unless you've got abnormally short thighs, you're never going to get pregnant. so if we're going to give young people advice, then we should make sure it's fucking good advice. So I'll give it 4.
It's a 4. It's a 4.
Very harsh, man.
I think you cut out, but I think it was explained at the start. I think that it is sort of that you've got such a nice garden that it does upset the non-garden people. So I think you've actually lost points by having such a great garden.
Well, it makes a change. I thought Jim was going to slag my jacket this time again. So
yeah, he took points off you for your jacket last time, I believe. But
yeah.
Yeah, I can get points for that jacket. 9.
3.
Paul says having Sammy as a neutral judge is like having your ma in the jury. Has Jim. Controversial 4, says Susie's controversial. Jay Lee saying 4 is harsh, man. Jim's a savage. It is savage. It's savage.
I fucking hate. It's not that I'm particularly savage. I just fucking hate poets.
Well, Gary, what did you make of Shelltoe Mel's poetry there?
Well, first of all, Jim's Windies have gone in tonight. Me and the young team are coming down.
Yes.
No, I love Shells. Oh, magical. I love the Gearden. I love the performance. I love the message in the words. So, on you go, Shell. Get in there.
Cheers, man.
Can we get a little bit of feedback while Sammy's working out the numbers, so we've got the exact score? Can we get out what do you make of it, sir?
Well, I loved the energy of it. It just as I was thinking about it, an inch above your knee, I found myself thinking of that jolly good footballer Schick, who put it quite a bit above your goalie's knee, wasn't it?
Too soon.
His Windies are not going in, they're getting petrol bombed.
Oof. That's one way to win the viewers over. If you've got any David Marshall memes you'd like to share as well, just rub it in.
Well, I mean, your team wasn't completely awful. I thought your Liverpool player linked in well with your Manchester United player, and your Southampton player was pretty good as well. Though, so I think you're probably very grateful to England and to English football clubs for training up your team. Unfortunately, your Derby County goalie, wasn't doing so well. Perhaps Wayne Rooney needs to take him in hand a little bit and top up his skills a little bit. Well, I'm going to mute Surf just now. I just had to. I'm just need to mute him. We'll let him maybe speak later. How to alienate an audience, says Alan. Too raw, sir. Too soon, says Susie. It's still a bit too soon for that. Let's go to. Let's not prejudge our next guest, who's representing England. They're not all like that. I'm going to introduce the Larkin. I believe we can go live to Larkin just now. How you doing, man? I think you've muted. Sorry, you need to unmute yourself, man. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can. I'm just messing about. Yeah. How you doing?
Amazing, mate. I'm good. Thank you for joining us tonight, man.
Pleasure.
I've been looking at your stuff, man. Been enjoying it. So it's great to have you on the show. It looks like Scotland are in the lead here. 1-0 officially, but it was a great a great start from Shelltoe. Mel, what do you make of the poets that you've seen so far?
I've been loving it. It's been great. I really enjoyed Shell last. It's nice to stare at someone's lady garden any day of the week. And I really like the fact that on the line shoots his load, she smacked her glitter ball, which is itself a lovely metaphor, I think, going well beyond.
Amazing. Well, it's time to step up to the plate. You are in competition with Shelltoe, Mel, and the glitter. So take it away, Larkin.
Right, cool. So it's Father's Day coming up, you'll know. So I thought I would do this poem called A Really Contrived Poem About Contrived Occasions that I have contrived for the contrived occasion of National Poetry Day. Poets will know that National Poetry Day is one day a year that poets hope to get paid. Generally, they don't, though. So this is made up of advertising, genuine advertising slogans, such as, have a Merry Christmas with B&Q. What better way to celebrate the birth of our Lord than with cut price deals on plasterboard? British Valentine's sirloin steak, because nothing says I love you more than the thrifty supermarket butchery of a cow. Thank you, good St. Valentine and Morrison's, for a steak for just £2. Halloween around the corner. Get this frightening and summer's nurse's outfit for just a tenner. Get to fuck, you think. Yes, that seems to be the message you'll get to if you invest in some faux Halloween leather. Where's all this going to lead? Get your mead for Eid, get a manicure for Hanukkah, DVDs of Joe Pasquale for Diwali, a gastric band for Ramadan, nude calendar for Advent, vodka set for Lent. What? No connection between product, service and celebration? No worries. We'll make up a poem for all occasions. To grammar, we'll pay proper no attention. We'll force some rhymes and then just disregard. Scansion. You'll need a card, yes, you'll need a card. Like a puppy, we'll remind you, a card's not just for Christmas, eh? There's a new occasion every day. Happy Uncle and or Auntie Day. Pete and Karen, I got you this card that says, sorry you were barren. A combo special. Happy retirement / sympathy to old Brian from Pensions and his wife. He always did encourage us to plan ahead in life. What you going to get your Tinder date? A t-shirt that ironically states, I went out with XXX, and all I got was chlamydia from the disappointing sex. Baby shower of shite. For your fill-in blank, I got you this pile of wank, sold to me with OCB, occasion-based marketing, infecting me from the age of 3 with Coca-Cola's Santa's jingle jangle. The white-haired man fixed it for me and all the other gals and gals. We never really stood a chance when a critical mass of morons made it the norm, banging the drum for pointless dances. So people repeated freakish mantras like, have a Merry Christmas with B&Q. Well, fuck you. I've had a vision of your future. Your bloated body is cast adrift on a floating blob of toxic rot in the middle of a nuclear sea, being sodomized by a mutant chicken escaped from an oceanic chain of KFCs, its talons rubbing your face in the chocolate wrappers, soiled nappies and rusty razor blades beneath as it holds you down to ram you with its novelty plastic prosthetic cock made in the shape of a branded beak. I am available, by the way, I'd like to point out, for workshops in schools. And you are asking for the Go Large Happy Family Meal deal because it's cheap. Anyway, Dad, happy Father's Day. Sorry I never sent you a card.
Amazing stuff. Loving it. And we've got our first judge of the evening. It's Sammy B. Sammy, did you enjoy that? You're on mute, Sammy. You're mute.
Saying yes, I thought it was fantastic. That was the best thing I've ever
saying
heard
good.
in my
I think
life.
she's saying good stuff.
I was saying good stuff. Sorry, I muted myself because Urmajico needed our tea there. So I didn't want to clatter him. But as Larkin, welcome to the show and nice to meet you, sir.
Likewise.
I thought your poem was brilliant.
you.
Absolutely. Do you know what I mean? Pure dead brilliant, can I say?
Oh, thank you very much. You can. You're allowed.
No, honestly, like, I'm the same. See all these commercials and buy this, buy that pish. I don't buy it. You know what I mean?
It's amazing, isn't it? The amount of people who are suckered, the amount of people who have got branding in their DNA. You think, what the fuck? The people who queue out in lockdown outside KFC. KFC, they have such disdain for their customers that they feed them their food in a bucket. There you are, you pig. There's your food in a bucket. You know what I mean? I just find it perplexing.
It's a great
Well,
poem.
being a vegetarian, I'm with you on that. You know what I mean? If you need to eat a bucket, fair enough. But I'm not interested in seeing you eating it, and I'm not interested in your adverts and the telly about it. And to be fair, I'm not really interested in TV as a medium anyway. You know what I mean? And advertisements, I'll buy what I want when I want.
This is the way, isn't it? This is the form. I mean, I'm going to say, I don't want to blow smoke up your asses, but I love this setup. The first time I've become aware of it, but if you've got Patreons funding you to do it, you've producing a really good show with interesting, diverse stuff. So I'm hooked now. I'll be looking out for what you do from now on. So thanks very much for involving me.
This is a great guy. This is a great guy. And
where are you from, Larkin?
Where what?
Where are you from? Where
am I from?
You need to translate that for Mark.
Where are you from?
Where do you stay? Well, I live in Oxford in England, but I'm from Leeds. But I am of dual heritage. You probably know from my skin colour, by how pale I am. I have a Scottish mother, so I'm batting for both sides tonight.
Oh, for fuck. You never tell us that, Mark. That makes it all the
I'm telling you now before you make your score.
This might confuse your scores. Yeah, I mean, obviously, He's come in. He's been a very good guest. He's took his shoes off at the door, unlike the sir that before him. He came in, good guest, took his shoes off at the door, bigged up the show, did a great poem, and he's got a Scottish mother as well, Sammy. And now it's time for you to give him a score out of.
Guy, a bra fella. Come what I'm saying. I just thought it was wonderful, and I'm going to do it. Actually, I'm going to give you. I can't because I'm impartial, but I'm giving you a 9. Right?
It's a 9.
That's a 9.
Incredible scenes.
It's a 9.
It's a 9 from Sammy B, the neutral ref. We never thought we'd see that. It's a 9. It's a very, very high score. Let's go to Jeremy Hatsworth,
all right,
your fellow countryman.
Well, actually, a couple of things. I've got a Scottish mum as well.
Yes.
People know that.
I thought I heard a bit of a Scottish accent occasionally coming through.
It might be the same woman.
It might well be.
Brothers from the same mother.
He's actually look-alike.
Secondly, my old man had a picture up on the wall when I was a child, and it was a picture of Happy Christmas from Chesterfields. It was like Ronald Reagan sitting at his table in the White House with like decks of cigarettes all over the table, and he's just sitting there chuffing away. Merry Christmas from Chesterfield. You know what I mean? It's like,
yeah.
What's that all about?
It's bizarre,
really
isn't it?
That poem. Are you in relation to Philip? By any chance?
People ask me if hear my surname. They say any relation, and I say yes. I've got a mother who is Scottish. I don't know, to be honest. I did my family tree, thinking that I might get something interesting. People seem to go, oh yes, I'm related to the King of Sweden, or a tribe in Nigeria, and mine was Leeds, Wakefield, the most boring straight tree in the entire world, and there was no Philip on there, so who knows? Probably not. I'd rather be related to Jim Larkin, who people in Ireland are more impressed with, the trade unionist statues of him in Dublin and Belfast. With get off your knees.
That might get you a wee extra point from Jim Monaghan when it's his time for him to decide his points. But it's time for Jeremy Hatsworth to, out of 10, Jeremy, what you saying?
I really got involved with that one, so I reckon a 9.
It's a 9. It's 2 9s. Incredible stuff. This is getting close. Jim Monaghan. What do you make?
I really liked it. I really hate National Poetry Day. Obviously, it's not just
because you don't get paid.
Yeah, no, because poets get paid, which is a really terrible idea. Because they'll just encourage them and they'll do more poetry. And also, everybody quotes that people who don't know fuck all about poetry put their favourite poem on Twitter, and it's fucking it makes you despair. Good wee link there to James Larkin, leader of the 1913 lockout strike in Dublin, and a personal hero of mine. So that gets you a wee point or two. And also, the whole thing about commercialisation and National Poetry Day, I thought was excellent. Yeah. And I'm not biased in this about Scotland, England. I mean, we're gypsies. We don't recognise your fucking borders anyway. We just go where we want. But I'll give it 6.
It's a 6, which Mark, it's the first time you've watched You Call That Radio, but Jim very rarely goes over a 4. So that's 2 9s and a 6. That's incredible scores. That is incredible scoring. We're going to give Sammy a bit of time to do the maths on that, because that's really a lot closer than we expected. I'm just going to check the comments. Mary saying, playing a belter, sir. We've got Alan saying, much better than the trickle-down economics poetry. No. Yeah, I think you've definitely won over the crowd a lot more. Noticed all the women poets have learned their poems by heart. Hashtag just saying. Very good point as well. West Side, see Ronaldo move the Coke bottles off screen at his press conference and 4 million of share price momentarily. Got good points, and his poem was good. I would give him an 8 and Mel a 10, says Jay Lee.
I've changed my mind too, Mark.
All right.
I don't know if you're allowed to do that, but it's you that's kind of scoring the points, so I don't know how that works.
All right, I'll not bother. No, I'll keep it.
Why were you changing your mind? Why were you changing your mind?
No, it's fine. No.
Okay. VAR check, still nothing each, says JV Glasgow. And points for the Henry, says Clusterfuck Circus. And I think Sammy's going to give us the final scores in a little second. Just to let everyone know, this is your last chance to sign up to the Patreon if you want to be part of the fantasy football. You Call That Radio League. We're going to announce we're going to assign 24 patrons with a team, and that's your team. And if your team wins, you win the jackpot, which is a £50 cash prize, and You Call That Radio Euros hamper. We'll probably give some prizes for the runners-up as well. So that should make things interesting. If you haven't already signed up, you can do so by going to patreon.com/You Call That Radio. It's less than the price of a pint or a coffee these days because of commercialisation and that. That was my segue. Sammy B, before you give it the score, I'm going to bring back Gary, the sir, and Shelltoe Mel. Just want to ask you, Gary, what did you make of that?
I love the rapido of the words. It really reminded me of John Cooper Clarke. Kenneth's Leeds and Wakefield, but I really loved the flavour of that. And I've done a poem myself about Christmas and the commercial shite, so really linked in with that. Well done, Larkin. Excellent.
We should just have Christmas dinner together, you and I. Fuck off our family and just
TV at 3 o'clock.
Maybe. Hopefully not too long till we can do it. You Call That Radio in the real world. Ali Grant says, I'm feeling lucky. Thank you. Ali Grant, who's a supporter of the Patreon. We salute the key workers, and that includes the Patrons who support this show. Sir, what did you make of your fellow countryman? He seems to be a lot more, I would say, popular than your poem.
Yeah, I have no idea why. But poetically, I was quite impressed. Politically, I've got shares in a lot of the companies that he's dissing there, so a little bit pissed off with that.
The share price of B&Q just went down 4 pence.
That's the power of poetry.
A big Black and Decker to the B&Q share price. Shelltoe Mel, did you enjoy that?
I'm having it as a quote, if you don't mind.
Feeling it. Feeling it big time.
Very good sportsmanship from Shelltoe Mel, enjoying the player who's up against. Sorry, sir, were you going to add something there?
No, I'm done. I'm done.
I heard someone
I think this is a win for us. Come on.
Well, we're going to find out. Sammy B, what's the scores in the doors?
Well, Matt, I think I was just being a wee bit too, generous there with my scoring.
Oh my God. It's not, is it? It's a win for England.
No. The people's raging with me. She's been up in my shooter, meow, meow, meowing. So you know what that means.
England have scored.
Mel scored 23, and Larkin scored 24.
Oh, it's a goal for England.
Woo!
The neutral judge.
Take it away with the commercialised stuff and everything.
England
Messi se da cuenta y cambia.
Pirlo afinando, ya cobra, pelota por arriba.
England have scored and equalised. It's one each. You've got to be happy with that performance.
Is that why you gave to me? Because that's what yeah, all right, I'm elated.
Yeah. You've got at this level. You've got to take your chances. You've got to take your chances. Shelltoe Mel is here, and not to be disheartened at all. It was very close there. It was a close round. We're still in it to win it, and it comes down to the final round. And at the end of the day, all these goals, if it goes down to goal difference, then that's a very close round compared to round one with the Sir, who got absolutely destroyed by Gary Robertson. And, and even if we goes to an audience vote, it means that Scotland still got this. It's close, though. It's going all the way to the wire. It's exciting stuff, as you call that, radio, TV. And I think we're ready to go to round 3. If you just give me 2 seconds till I contain myself. I'm actually shocked. I'm shocked. A surprise goal with obviously it's neutral judges. We know it's neutral judges. But, oh my God, anything can happen.
You call that radio. More like a TV show. On almost every night. It's gonna be streaming live. You call that radio. More like a TV show. On almost every night. It's gonna be streaming live. You call that
Wow. We couldn't have predicted that. It's one each. It's Scotland versus England. And wow. What can we say? I don't know what to say. What's the viewers got to say? Oof. Garden envy done Shelltoe Mel. It was a shocking result from the referee. But yeah, it's one each. Italy scored as your goal gift came on, and you could keep it and stand by for Friday night. Well, that's good to know that it works. It's great to know. I think we're ready for round 3. But before we do that, it's time for a halftime poem from Jim Monaghan.
Hello. Yeah, I've got a wee poem for you. Kind of fit my poem. And this is about, I don't know, it's a kind of, I like the Euros and the World Cup and all the sort of nations representing themselves and all that. But I'm also a wee bit dubious about about nations and nationalism in general, and this kind of idea in Scotland where we have this kind of thing where people will say, "Oh, we invented penicillin." Oh, did you? Aye. We. And so this poem's kind of a bit about that. It's called Joke Damson Gurns. Scottish fitba's in the dock. It seems that we're the laughing stock of Europe. No longer will we see the day when the likes of Cooper, Hanson, Paul McStay, Baxter, Johnson, Dennis Law, the artists of the Tanner Ball will grace the greatest stage on earth to show the world what we are worth. But as our team face many tankings and slip further down the FIFA rankings, maybe we should ponder whether this list of heroes even ever played together. I mean, it was the McNeil that lifted up the 1966 World Cup. 4 years later, we didn't even go to the Classic finals in Mexico, but then I'm sure that David Hume did not meet Irvin Welsh or Walter Scott. James Macmillan never will debate with Peden. But it's the same for Poland and the same for Sweden. For Marie Curie never got a call for Copernicus or Pope John Paul. So I know we like to greet and whinge and exercise the Scottish cringe, but let's face it, just like most small nations, we sometimes rise above our station. So don't mope when it doesn't go our way. Rejoice when the wee dog has its day. We've aye been mediocre, we've never been great, but let's enjoy and celebrate the times, the beautiful times, when we punch above our weight.
Yeah, enough respect in the day. I respect to the man like Mark. I love how the man talk on the radio. In case you never know. You call that radio. Call that the radio. You call that radio. Call that the radio. Come and say, in my name, I'll just go with the flow. In my name, I'll just go with the flow. So till you miss a mark, now go bend down low. Till you miss a mark, now go bend down low. Boom. Lot of mercy. Yo. You call that radio. You call that radio. Come and say, don't you be a nether man, I'll go lose your head. Say, don't you be a nether, me say, and lose the head. Me say, radio. Call that a radio. Straight from out of Glasgow. Straight from out of Glasgow, nice enough on the studio. Come and say, in my name, I'll just go with the flow. In my name, I'll just go with the flow. So till you miss a mark, now go bend down low. Till you miss a mark, now go bend down low. No radio. You call that the radio. Them man I give you miss a lot of subject, and them I think a man you can't object. So don't you ever come and disrespect. I love and respect in every aspect.
For someone who hates poets, that was nice. I think you just gave poetry therapy, Jim Monaghan there. A great poem. And just before we do we're going to do a wee raffle just now, but we'll go around. Everyone enjoy that? Gary, did you enjoy that?
Oh, absolutely loved that, Jim.
Cheers, Gary.
Honestly, great sentiments, and I think always the end result about being positive. We are what we are, and always looking forward. Keep it positive, and loved it. This is great stuff, Jim.
I thought
cheers,
it was
Gary.
great.
Larkin?
Yeah, I thought it was superb. That I loved it. I love the sentiment of breaking down national barriers a bit and then taking the game for what it is. As Jeremy said earlier, which I quite liked, where he's a child of the world, which is a good new way of saying global citizen. And I was wondering though when you mentioned Cooper, who you meant. 'Cause Cooper to me now for Scotland means Liam Cooper. No. I mean David Cooper. I had to look him up.
I meant David Cooper.
I don't think we get players who were great for Scotland and great in Scotland, but never played in England. We haven't got as much of a memory of them. Because you didn't mention Gordon Strachan in your list. How can you not mention Gordon Strachan?
It's because the mainstream media don't really report on Scottish events much down south.
Yeah.
But we kind of know what's happening down there. Something wrong with
Yeah,
that,
no.
isn't there?
Yeah, there is. It's
Something
like
wrong with
America, isn't it? Not understanding our accents. Fuck you.
Yeah,
We
the
understand
other
yours,
ones lacking.
you know. Hey?
The other ones lacking were the ones that you probably don't know of are Jim Baxter and Jimmy Johnston, as well as Davy Cooper. That was the ones mentioned, and Paul McStay as well. None of them
Right.
played in England.
But I think there was one thing that I did disagree with. Scotland were great when Archie Gemmill scored in the World Cup. And also, you look at Denmark. Denmark has won the Euros, haven't they? The problem is you need to be an independent nation and you need to do all sorts of things to look after internal investment. Then you can be great.
That's why I think that we're all
Oh.
agreed that if we win the game on Friday, that we get independence. Everyone's all right with that, isn't they? I think everyone's all right.
Jim, I really liked your poem. It really, it reminded me of a little of your national anthem, which is really all about how great England is. Send him Hayward to think again. Well, we thought again, and we're still going to dominate you. So thanks, Jim. That was great.
Very controversial chat from the Sir. We've got a very controversial chat. I'm going to just now. I think we've got round 3. All the way from Newcastle is in the green room. Hello, we'll get to you in a little minute. Just want to do this first.
Jim, I thought you were a 10.
Thank you, Sammy. You've heard that one before.
Just a little.
And
Just
we'll be
thought
punching above our weight on Friday, sir.
Yeah.
You can try.
Then you big sir sitting there.
a wee message for the Sir.
When you do that with footballers, like he said about Leeds, when you do that Stuart Pearce, I've kept really quiet. But I'll tell you something, he went down in my estimation when he said that. We have not resorted to that. Tell him now, if you're watching it, we're still fighting for this title, and he's got to go to Middlesbrough and get something. And I'll tell you, honestly, I will love it if we beat.
I will love it. Love it. We'd love it if we beat you. Love it.
Go on, Kevin.
If you don't really know what's going
We're still fighting for this title, and he's got to go to Middlesbrough and get something. And I'll tell you, honestly, I will love it if we beat.
You call that radio, call that radio TV. You call that radio TV.
Okay, so call that radio TV. It's the Poetry Slam final between Scotland and England. It's 1 each. The score is 1 each. So it really does come down to the last. Scotland won, England won. Can't believe it. Against all odds, it's going to be lined up for an exciting finish, so don't go anywhere. But before we go to the final, which I believe is going to be Donald Jenkins against Francis Rafferty, I'm just going to do a quick fantasy football raffle. So let me just see if that's working all right. So I might do this at the end if it doesn't if it's not quick. But I've got basically what I'm going to do here is so it's all done fair, and you see everything's done by the book. This is the random number generator. What we have here is all the patrons who've signed up, and I'm going to randomly generate a number. So let's see. We've got 231 patrons. Thank you to every single one of you. 24 of you are going to go through to the next. So that was 162. So who's number 162? This might take ages, actually. I might do this later. This is going to take too long, innit? I'll do a lev. I'll do a lev later on. But to give you an example, 160. What was the number? 161. So 161 would be Lee Lafferty. You are the team, the first team in the alphabet, which I don't have with me. Do you know what? We're going to do this later. I can't do that 24 times. That'll be shite TV. So fuck that. Sorry for swearing. It's time for round 3. It's 1 each. And I don't think we do have the Scottish player ready yet. He's warming up on the bench, I believe. So instead, we're going to go, I think, Newcastle for Don. How you doing, mate?
I'm all right. How are you? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, mate. Well done. And I understand you just came straight here from work, so I appreciate that, man.
No problems. I'm sorry it was such a last-minute thing, but yeah, I've just been working with young people today. So what's the crack? Just start? Go for 3 minutes, is it?
Yeah, man. Well, we'll just feel free to just give a wee intro. Obviously, the last time I seen you, Don, was in Newcastle when Jackal Trades was playing with the Whippet Beans, and that was a great night.
It was a great night, but it seems like a whole different lifetime now, almost.
It was, man. Hopefully, not too long before we can get back to Newcastle, because it's a fantastic city. What you've missed so far is we've had 4 amazing poets on. It's a draw. It's a gridlock. It's 1 each for Scotland and England. So yeah, this is an important one, man. No try to put any pressure on you. No pressure at all. This is the last minute penalty strike. So take it away, Don.
Okay. Anyway, this is my kind of response to kind of conspiracy theories, fake news, and COVID, etc. So my name's Donald Jenkins. You meme-generated sleuths, sharpen your raging fingertips in a deep-stated fettle with scores to settle, disputing peer-reviewed truths, opting to ogle the optics of YouTube gurus, provoking notions with a sprinkling of some hokum, how many rolls to unfold your tinfoil hats, fraught with claims and counterclaims, blaming all those not enlightened like them. We ought to listen to their contrived wisdom. Just wake up, sheeple, and smell the bait. I still click on the link. I was trying to evade. Don't leave the anti-vax to take the top brass to task. We need to nick pick when grey areas come unmixed. Vacate this daily drip where we're force-fed thoughts. Why would a system built for the rich intentionally implode itself, close its doors to commerce after spending a century fighting wars, selling its right to victory, only then to behave like Soviet rivals, state-subsidizing workers with decreased productivity? The cost of COVID has not been equal. 2/3 of the deceased have been disabled. People of colour twice as likely to have died of the virus. Lest we forget the surplus people. While you refuted the magnitude, beds were filling up with the dead. As they passed on alone without loved ones next to them, nurses felt the dread as their makeshift mourners. In wards, government cut till there were no corners left. While instead of uncovering the truth, fake news was their accomplice to added confusion, masking incompetence, cover-ups and the ruse of conning us to clap whilst they happy slapped our NHS in the interest of 1%. We are better off riddled with cynicism than die defying any conspiracy. The real heretics have no track record or trace of humanity left to give their best friends our billions without tendering. Behind every suffering, there's opportunity. As we increase the speed of misinformation, the distance between us grows further. A perforation has occurred, yet we seem unperturbed by incessant need to rip more. Just keep breathing in and preaching out our passive war cries when skim reading headlines of war crimes, incensed for mere seconds, desensitized by boundaries long abandoned in the search engine for progress. Who benefits? Our rulers or their rivals who wish to rule next? Play on the narratives that take us on tangents, use them as cues to push through new chaos, prey on our lack of appetite for taking to the street, ensure that any dissent is measured, never moves beyond a tweet.
Brothers and sisters, may the peace that can only come from the one God be upon you. We are here to tell the people that we hear you. One God will not allow us and people of conscience to lose our morale.
Powered by our patrons. Amazing stuff from Don there. Superb. What does Sammy B make of it?
Yeah. Aye. That was an offer gudgeon, Donald. Like your name, son. Donald, here's your trousers. Diddle-oo. Listen, I turned my bonnet off and discussed it myself at Melno getting through.
You're a neutral. You're a neutral, Sammy.
No, I'm a neutral. I'm a neutral. You know what I mean? Well, that was a great poem, sir. It was very relevant.
Also, Sammy, before you go into that, I just want to give a wee shout out because it looks like Francis might not be making it because he sent me an audio poem, and I don't think that we're going to be able to win with an audio poem. So if there's any poets watching this and you think you could be a last-minute super sub for Scotland and win the game, then I'll put the link in the comments. The link is here to join the chat. To win for a super sub is the link for the super sub link.
Oh, we need a sub, man. We need to get somebody subbed in, sir.
So Francis has sent his apologies. He's also sent an audio poem that I can play, but I think that's too risky because that was a good poem. So we're in a bit of trouble here. It's the last minute. Whoa, Sammy, take it away. What did you make of Don's poem? Break it down and give us a number.
I just thought it was really, really good. Do you know what I mean? But Donald. Yeah, it was good. I enjoyed it, but I'm going to give you a 7.
It's a 7 from Sammy. That's a high. That's a high number. That's high from Sammy.
Nice to meet you, Donald.
Nice to meet you too, Sammy.
Aye, man.
And they've got.
I can talk. I can go all about the country and fit in. No bother.
Yeah, you fit in just perfectly well in the fictional village of Turboughton where you reside.
Yeah.
I'm originally from Kirkintilloch, if it makes any change in your scores.
No, pal, you have to be for Easter if there's going to be a change in my score. You know what I mean? Nice try, though. Nice try.
Jeremy Hatsworth.
Oh yeah, mate.
Big Jezza.
That was you knocked it out of the park there for me. It was like really encapsulated the times, you know. It's like sitting all through lockdown, looking at my phone and like getting pissed off, like with lots of things, and listening to something like that, you know, you really take a step back and like you're standing on a platform looking down at a dream, you know what I mean? And it's like, yeah, I can see that. I can see that in the faces of the people. I can really feel that about these times, you know. And yeah, so I like to give you like a 9 for that one. I really liked it.
Cool.
Amazing. Amazing. It's a 9. It's a 9 in the final. Jim Moran, what do you make of it?
I think it might have been good, but I didn't understand a fucking word. It was... I'd like to see like a pub argument with Gary Robertson and Donald there, while I just sit in the middle going, what the fuck is this? I like the sentiment. I'm not a big fan of these conspiracy theorists and all that. I've had both my jabs. I was in the first review. So yeah, I'll give it
2 jabs more in, they call them.
2 jacks. Yeah, I'll give it what'll I give it? Oh, this is the pressure's on here. I'll give it 6.
It's a 6.
Oh, that Donald, that's great. That's high for me, Donald.
That's
so
high.
Jim, just to let you know that it is going to be a video coming out of that, and it does have like somebody who disagrees with me, so it's us 2 arguing. So that was just one side of it, and then there's also going to be subtitles on there. So if you don't understand what the fuck I'm saying, you'll be all right.
Subtitles. Yeah, these are subtitles.
Okay, so we are still waiting for a super sub for Scotland to come in at the last minute. And Sammy, did you say you would do it?
No, I didn't. What I was going to say was I was going to tell you that my friend got her second jag yesterday, right? And she was on the phone to one of her colleagues down south, and she was saying to her, I get my second jag yesterday. Oh, I don't know how I feel about it. And the lassie thought she mentioned that I jag motor. She's going, what? You're not doing it. Instead, do you know what I mean?
Pure jargon.
What's that? I mean, no one's ever called it a jab before in history in Scotland, but it's all jab.
It's a jag. A jag.
Yeah.
Imagine there was a Prescott who was a heroin addict, and he really was called 2 jabs.
So, Right, we've got that. We've not got a sub. I mean, we've got Larkin is happy to play for Scotland.
I'll do it.
Sister's doing it. Jim,
I'll do it.
You'll do it.
Yeah.
How are you going to judge yourself, though?
Mine would definitely be a 10, though, but that's it. Somebody else. You need to get somebody else to judge me, like Sir Injun Stevis or whatever his name is.
I'll do it. I'll do it.
Wait a minute.
I'll do it.
Are you Scottish?
Oh my God!
It's Martin Windybank.
What?
I'll do it.
It's Martin Windybank.
What?
That's it.
But how are we going to judge you as well?
How are we going to judge you for crying out loud? What's
Okay,
going
it's a bit
on
of- okay, we apologise. We apologise for this brief shambles. But we'll be back by hook or by fluke with the final Scotland contestant in a moment. And just a
You call that radio? You call that radio TV? No. You call that radio TV?
This is You Call That Radio.
This is You Call That Radio TV. Francis, I don't think it's going to make it. Scotland are in the final now. The judges have offered to do it. West Side's offered to do it, but he needs 10 minutes. We don't have 10 minutes. The impartial judge could jump on, Geeser her vote. England back in, it's so close. Yeah. Mark, someone saying I should do it. Well, I'm supposed to be neutral as well. Oh, right, okay. I'll just need to do it. But I'm not going to read off a screen and I've not prepared anything. But I suppose on the theme, on the same theme as Dawn, I'll do it. But I'll need to change my green screen, and I need to hope that I remember how to do poems. I've not done a poem since before lockdown. But this is At This Point, which is a new Jackal Trades album. It's out now in Bandcamp, and it's got music to it. And I did read a lot of the words off a screen, but I don't have any words on the screen, so I'm going to give it a go. The last year appeared to be full of fake news, paid views, deep fakes, and every film I seen on my computer screen seemed to be remakes. I gained weight by being chained to a chair in the name of entertainment, played the blame game with the rest of them. As cancel culture gained a facelift. At one point, the lockdown bakers so I had to replace eating my bodyweight in steak bakes and make do with microwaving microchips every time I saw that Bill Gates face. And I think we all learned that everyone's an expert these days, well, apart from doctors, nurses, and all the experts, obviously. There was winners and losers, and yes, beggars can be choosers. I self-isolated myself till they opened up the boozers, with the caveat for me that background music should be booming. Every Zoom call was confusing, just another muted human. This city's always grim, but this one is different. The year flew by quick still, yet they dragged it every minute. The critical thinking definition of cynic means now everyone's a skeptic, but their heart's not really in it. It's more question everything, except the sources that I parrot. Friendships end up damaged because lines in sand became apparent. And the Brexit in the rear view, the worst of two wrongs. The past a tax dodge for Boris is another cue from forms. From March to March, we marched in packs. We roamed in tribes, took sides and chose our facts. At the point where my whole planet's slowly falling apart, high-five my da through the glass. It all happened so fast. By the next March, they banned marching bands, protesting gatherings. For the first time, many middle-class people are reacting here. Previously, they worked from home with Netflix and Uber Eats. When their holiday got in jeopardy, they marched on city streets. My feed is filled with scammers, anti-vaxxers, crisis actors. They prefer Corbyn's brother, but would rather vote Thatcher or that All Lives Matter patter, apart from when they batter refugees. Turned up for furlough dodo after decades of austerity. The magic money tree reappeared and paid their mates for track and trace and PPE and masks that never worked. The corporations fed their face brainwashed by the BBC. What? Who do you think you're talking to? I graduated with honours, mate, for YouTube University. Your phone is a TV. If you share your negativity, it's UBI or die till we return to festivities. Now, suddenly I'm mainstream because I don't think Trump is Jesus. 5G causes obesity because we order more pizzas and the borders spring up like trees, gain the leaves. And I can't leave the house. Either you get fined for breathing. If protest changed anything, it'd make them illegal. Churchill statue gets more safeguards than vulnerable people. Kill the bill. It's protest post. COVID Tories are wary of. We will march against the scary laws they can't jail. Oi, it's disgust me when you film empty hospital corridors, but I welcome your distrust because you'll be marching as one of us. The end. As you call that radio TV, I had to do the super sub. We've got the neutral Sammy B judge here. Sammy, what are you giving it?
I've got my bonnet back on, sir. Well done coming off the bench for Larkin, Mark. By the way, absolutely tremendous, brilliant, pure dead, brilliant, amazing, wonderful. It's a 20.
It's a 20 from Sammy B, the neutral
Well, a
judge.
10 plus an extra 10. I know I'm not allowed to do that, but it's a big fat 10. Very
It's a
sorry.
It's a 10. Jeremy.
Loved it.
Jeremy, that's enough.
Well, Jeremy.
I can't believe it, really. I've never seen anything like that before. That was amazing. Mark, where did you get that from? That energy, those words, amazing. So, I mean, it might seem a bit controversial, but you know, I have to give you it, mate. I have to give you full points for that.
It's a 10 from Jeremy. Jim.
That was a perfect super sub thing. To me, that set us up for Friday night. You know, on Friday night, you know what's going to happen. It's going to be desperate. It's going to get to the end. The super subs are going to come on. Davy Turnbull's going to skin the England midfield, slip it with the young Nathan Patterson, who's going to float a perfect cross in. Kevin Nisbet at the back post. Well done. 8 out of 10.
It's an 8 from Jim, which I think is the highest score that Jim's ever had.
Look, England, Jim Fish Ferdinand, Lord Nelson, Lord David Bruce, Sir Winston Churchill, Sir Anthony Eden, Clement Attlee, Henry Cooper, Lady Diana, yes, look them all sammen, Maggie Thatcher, can you hear me? Maggie Thatcher, your boys took a hell of a beating.
Obviously, this has been done in the fairest, neutral possible way. Let's bring on the final score, I think, is Scotland 2, England 1. Is that right? Sammy, can you confirm that?
Yeah, Mark, just to confirm the scores, the goals are for Mark 28, folks, and for Donald Trousers 22.
Scotland 2, England 1. It's, we'll bring on the winning team and we'll bring on the other guys in a second as well. But there's Shelltoe Mel. I don't think she's here anymore. Shelltoe Mel was also part of the winning squad. And I would say that this is, you know, we've done it in a fair way. It's been a fair game, I think.
Totally.
It's been fair. Neutral judges, I'm sure that there's no.
I have to say that whether it's been fair or not, I don't think any of us give a fuck when it's been to be honest. I have to apologise to Mel. I thought Mel was brilliant, but I marked her low just to make it exciting at the end and just to give our English friends a wee bit of, you know, keep them in there to the end before we.
Well, they nearly won because our Francis sadly couldn't make it. Let's go and see how the Sir is doing.
Get it, Runye!
Okay, Sarah. Yeah, we'll come back. We'll come back when we're ready. Yeah.
Sir St. John, can
Yes.
I ask you, how does cronyism feel when it's on our side?
Well, you can be cronies over poetry if that's what you like. Cronies with the real wonga, as I hear some people call it, is a completely different matter.
We've got Don. Shouts to Don, who was absolutely fantastic. Don, I'm sure you understand that this has been a very fair way of doing things.
Well, I'm a chucked at Ouija, so I don't give a fuck. So
Yeah, it's been a very fair, our undercover agent, and also we've got Larkin, half Scottish as well. I take it no complaints about the final result.
No, well, it's quite just being a football fan, being a Leeds fan. You're hated by most other teams, and I quite like it when they're all singing, we all hate Leeds, and we all hate Leeds, and we will sing to teams like Sheffield Wednesday. You mean fuck all to us. You mean fuck all to us. And Scotland hates England, and Scotland, you mean fuck all to us, basically. That's the long and short of it.
Amazing stuff. So on that bombshell, let's go round and feel free to get the plugs in. Gary Robertson, you have a single out in the charts just now called Kilts on Taps Af. How can people support the single and the release?
You can get the single on a digital download by an independent music company over in New York who has been supporting us at www.guitarbeachmusic.com. Download it or just give us a fucking private message and I'll send it to you. Let's spread the word. Let's get up and jump the boot. Fuck this.
We've got to spread the word, Gary. Do you know that's definitely going to be how we finish the show? I think that's got to be done. So I'll put the link up for anyone who didn't get that. That's the link. We've got Jim. Have you promoting anything just now?
Well, no, really. I'm just finishing off my next poetry collection, which should be out in about August, if I ever get around to finishing it. And obviously the Government Hill Book Festival's in August as well, which I'm responsible for. Back to that, I'll be having a wee quiet summer, I think.
And there's so many people on here. There's so many. We've got Sir. If I'm going to chuck the Sir out, and we'll get Michael back on. I'm kicking him from the studio. Hopefully, Michael will take his place. Don, you mentioned your poem that's going to be like an argument, which is a great idea, man. I love the idea of that. Tell us a bit more about that. Anything else you've got coming up?
It's a project that I've done. I run an event in Newcastle called Born Lippy, and we've done a project called the Poetry Exchange with a night in London called Spoken, and it's like 10 poets from 2 different cities of co-written poems that are about like creating social change. So all of them are going to get released in about 2 weeks from now. They'll be available on all digital platforms. And they're all kind of raise different issues. The one that I'm looking at is looking at the kind of specifically to do with kind of how the different ways that different arguments around COVID and news and stuff. And also, we're also involved in running the Lindisfarne Festival, doing a Born Lippy stage there. We've got
Lindisfarne. I'll be there, man. I'll be there. And also
Stanley Order playing on our stage. Imogen Sterling. Amongst others.
It's a great stage if you've got to Lindisfarne, and fingers crossed. I mean, I'm pinning my hopes at that being the festival that happens this year, because it's kind of sort of mid-September, isn't it?
Yeah, 2nd to the 4th of September. Are you playing, Mark, or not?
I can't confirm or deny any rumours, but I will be there. I will say that I'll be there.
Okay,
I wouldn't miss it. It's a great festival. Everyone check it out. It's in September, so there's a chance. And also, because it's across the border and the Prime Minister doesn't care about his people, there's a good chance that will go ahead rather than a Scottish festival. So we're hoping for Lindisfarne, and fingers crossed it happens. Born Lippy stage is the poetry stage in it, and it was amazing that I've been lucky enough to play it before, and it's amazing. So check out Born Lippy and all the stuff Don's doing. We've got Larkin. What you got anything coming up?
Yeah. Well, I'll be forever touting my book, Your Own Steve Larkin Poetry Adventure. But before that, I'll be running the Hammer and Tongue National Slam Final at the Albert Hall on the 4th of July. A new slam champion will be born on the 4th of July. Jenny Foulds, who we had on the start, is part of it, as there are a good 4 Scottish poets in it. So that's going to be good. And it's going to be streamed online so that you can everyone can vote for the first time. So it's going to be a professional. So you don't you don't have to go. Sold out anyway, but you can watch the final and vote for your favourites.
Can I ask Larkin? Can I ask who the 4 are? I know Jenny's there and Sarah Grant, I think, as well. Who are the other
right.
Scottish poets?
That's correct.
Do you know who
Sarah Grant. Now you're asking.
Catherine, someone. Catherine.
Yeah,
Catherine McFarlane. Catherine McFarlane. She's fucking excellent. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I've checked out a little bit of each people's work, but as I remember, Catherine supplied her hour-long show, which I haven't had time to look at yet. But, we'll do at some point.
Amazing, man.
If you're looking for any judges, Jim's good.
Actually, I love it.
Very fair.
I love a mean judge. It's great at a live event when you get a mean judge who's resolute. The resolute with the score. No, 5.2. The audience. I don't give a fuck. I thought he was shite, and I want to publicly tell the world. What's wrong with you?
I would like to publicly humiliate the poet, please.
Yeah.
I hate creativity. On
Judgmental.
Well, I'd also like to bring back on. He's not the son after all. He's actually a very nice man called Michael James Parker. How you doing, mate?
Oh yeah, sorry I couldn't get here on time. How did England do?
Just like it's going to happen on Friday, we're going to win 2-1 on Friday, and if we do get the win, we are going to get independence. We've all agreed on that. The rules.
Good luck to you. I mean, it's like seems fair to me.
So Michael, obviously, Michael's a great guy. I've played. Was it Rialto Theatre down in Brighton with you yourself? And Brighton's an amazing place, man. I'd happily live there. Yeah. If I could do it, I would love to go there again. But it's an amazing place. What's happening? What's happening down in Brighton?
Well, we had our first Hammer and Tongue Brighton tangible gig just last month. I don't want to call it in the real world because this is the real world too. But we had a tangible gig, went down really well, and we'll be doing some more of those. And I'm going up to the Hammer and Tongue National Final at the Royal Albert Hall on July the 4th.
Which is the way you said this is the real world too, as you're talking to a floating head. This is the real world too. This is real. This is real.
In a way, yes.
In a way. In a way, it's real. It's real to me. West Side says, hey, sorry about the tech fail last minute. StreamYard fail. Don't worry, man. I appreciate you putting it on your boots and getting your strip on, and you nearly made it. But we won anyway. Well played, excellent substitution, says Alan. Mark's going to win it for Scotland, says Lou. That could have been any nation, to be fair, says Mary. And get Frank Foodie to do it. Late to the game here. You look like the games master. Frank Foodie's back, by the way. I think he's going to be on the show again soon. He was on the show for the pub quiz recently. Fire emoji, says Jay Lee. Yes, says Jay Lee as well. Donald, I still live in Kirky, says Lou. Kirky, massive in the house. Always a quality guest on You Call That Radio. Never ever a Tory, never mind us, sir. Yes, it was all an illusion. It wasn't real. Does anyone else have any final closing points about the game on Friday? What do you think? In fact, let's get this on record. Let's get a prediction here. And the winner, if someone gets the right score, I will give them a free You Call That Radio t-shirt.
4-1.
I hope England die miserably. That would be great.
4-1 to Scotland, Mark.
4-1 to Scotland, says Sammy B.
That's our prediction.
Jeremy, what's your prediction?
I'll give it a, I don't know, I'm not really into football, more in boxing, me, but go on with 2-1 Scotland, not going.
2-1 Scotland is Jeremy. And we'll go down. Jim next. Jim.
I don't know. I think we'd be doing well to get a draw. England's a really good team. So I'll go 2-2.
Ah, piss off, Jim.
Always putting a downer in things. Gary, a wee bit of optimism.
Jim, bugger off. So, Mark, I'm going to go with the score on the night, 2-1, and recreate the Wembley 1977 result. Sometimes miracles happen. Giza.
Well, it's been a strange year. You never know. Don, any predictions?
I hope he's win 10 -5 because I fucking hate England.
What a fair Scotland that way final this has been, isn't it? And Michael, prediction?
I'm going to go with the repeat of Euro '96, a 2-0 to England, and a super. If we can score with the goal like Gazza's, that one I'll be dead chuffed.
Broke my heart, that goal. It made it worse. It was a Rangers player at the time as well. It was a tough one to take, that one. Larkin, prediction? Larkin, would you like to predict Friday's score? I don't know if you can hear me. Can everyone hear me? No. I think it's maybe on a delay or something.
Yeah, it must
Larkin,
be.
can you hear me? Are you all right?
Put your money on 0-0.
No.
Yeah, my prediction is. Can you hear me? I don't know. It's going to be.
I can hear you. I can hear you now. It just... No, says Larkin. Well, thank you very much, everyone. It was 2-1 tonight. It was 2-1 to Scotland. Thank you to everyone who tuned in. Thank you to all the poets. Scotland won, and we're going to end tonight's show with Gary, who's in the middle here. He's got a song.
Cooper and Phillips to dominate.
The Cundeez. I'm going to mute you just now, Larkin, because you're on a little delay of things. But support all the poets. Support all the local independent poets, or unless you live really, really far away, then support all the really, really far away independent poets. And we're going to end with the Cundeez with Kilts On, Taps Off, which was played by Zoe Ball, no less. But now he finally gets it played on You Call That Radio, which is what it's really all about. I mean, this is the big time. This is the big time now. Did you ever think one day, Gary, you'd make a Scottish national anthem that get played on Zoe Ball and You Call That Radio?
No. The bigger aim is to get it played here on You Call That Radio, Mark. We're forever in your debt. Cheers, buddy.
And tomorrow night, we're back. Tomorrow night, it's a secret listening party. So this is just for the patrons. If you're a patron at patreon.com/You Call That Radio, or if you've pre-ordered the Moods album, then you get to hear it the first time before anyone else tomorrow night from 7 o'clock. I've had a listen to it. It's an amazing album. Moods are one of my favourite bands in the country, Manchester-based, but they're up in Scotland all the time. They play all the festivals, and they're a good bunch of lads. They make some amazing music. So we're doing that tomorrow night at 7, and then I can't remember what else is happening. It's a football Friday, so I'm not doing a show. I'm off it. I'm on it. Or off it. I don't know. I'm not doing the show on Friday anyway. So I hope everyone enjoys I hopefully see some of these tomorrow night. Thank you, everyone that joined me tonight. Go and support these poets. Thank you for being a good sport. And this is the Cundeez, Kilts On, Taps Off. I'm on to Scotland for Friday. Bye.
Bye.
The tsunami must see the banners fly. As the salt sets on the clear blue sky. Fight fired up from the rumble way. Good time, your place, this is your day. we've had a few ups and downs, but we'll follow you. By the highlands, islands, hills and glens, by the city streets, here we go again. Voice of the past, hear the hand and roar. The terrorists chant, singing, we want more. It's in the blood running through our veins. The Celtic spirit they can never tame. Battle hardened and we're on the move. The Tartan army gonna raise the roof of the lion rampant and a beaten heart. So come on boys, this is just the start.
Strange mood of our time.
You call that radio?
Makes coherent sense.